Well, hello. Today is a different stream. We're just gonna chat because of life, and also because actually, anytime we do meet, we kind of end up chatting anyway. So, why not skip the coding for today? And we're just gonna chat, if I didn't say that word enough. So, if you have any questions, if you just feel like sharing what's been on your mind, how you're doing, anything, then drop it in the chat. Let's see how far we go. I also might take some breaks here and there because I'm still waiting for some updates from my family. So yeah, that's what's up. Hey Abraham, how are you? I really have nothing much to say, It's just what it is. So please be my guest and introduce topics. Introduce yourself. Hey Sahin, if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah. I could actually share with you a book that I bought. So I think last time I told you about this algorithms book that I bought, which is like yeah, I think it's called Algorithms. It's nothing sophisticated. It basically has like mice on the cover, and I was reading it a little bit here and there, and it's actually pretty nice. And then I also decided to buy another book because you gotta numb yourself a little bit with everything what's happening. So instead of buying crap, I decided to buy books, and I'm just reaching out to it. That's the book. It's called How the Internet Really Works, and it's basically an illustrated guide to protocols, privacy, censorship, and governance. And I didn't start it yet, but it seems pretty cool. Look at this. It's like this kind of stuff. And it has a lot of explanation of decentralization, of protocols, of how things are, of, for example, where's the camera? Here. These kind of things. So it is pretty cool, and I was surprised to see it in the bookstore. They had only one copy. I'm not sure if it's because the rest is sold out. Probably not. But sometimes they have just like one copy of something. So I was happy to stumble upon that one and get it. So that was a pretty good purchase. And also because I live in Berlin, and in general, like books in English are not super a thing, like you would probably get them from Amazon, but sometimes you don't want to get things from Amazon and you want to just like go to the bookstore and have like the whole experience. So I was happy that my experience ended up with having that book. Hello. Grokking algorithms. Yes, I always forget that it's the first name, the grokking one. But yeah, that's what it is. Hi, Jabber. What is your opinion on cybersecurity? Sorry for bad English. I mean, cybersecurity is important. We sometimes have trainings at work about some cybersecurities and securities in general. And it's quite interesting to see how deep this topic goes. Like, as a regular user, you would not even think about those things. But then once you start digging into it and you start kind of like doing hacking or preventing hacking, then it's like, wow, so many things are out there. And also as a developer, you start kind of like expanding your horizons and seeing how things are and how vulnerable everything is. So yeah, quite eye-opening. Hi Raj from India. It's 12:10 a.m. here. You're a new subscriber. Thank you. Happy to have you here. So many people are like night owls. I would probably be already super asleep by this time. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Abraham, how many languages do you speak? You started with English. Let me know if you hear the music. I found one that is called... Which one am I playing today? Wait, there was a funny one. One was like modern classics, and I started vibing like super beats, and that was like so weird. So yeah. Oh yeah, now I'm playing sophisticated playlist. It gives me a little bit of a Hans Zimmer vibes. Have you managed to read T.H. Corman? If yes, how? That's so heavy on maths. T.H. Corman? Let me Google that. Probably not. Introduction to Algorithms. No, I haven't read that book. I actually haven't read anything about algorithms, frankly speaking. So, yeah, I decided to start with grokking algorithms, like step by step. Ayomiko, hi. How are you? But yeah, back to the topic of maths. I mean, maths is also kind of like, as a web developer, the amount of math that you're using is close to zero. Frankly speaking, I don't think, like, okay, I had one task at work where it was very math specific, but that was because of like the feature that we were building. But apart from that, I really cannot remember any other time that you use math. Well, okay, you're probably using like very basic math when it comes to like smaller than, bigger than, but this is in general probably life things that you could use knowing even outside of like the, you know, of coding. So, oh, there we go. I thought that I would need to block somebody today. How do I do that? So, there we go. Not as a web developer, but to get a job, they do ask algorithms a lot in interviews. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm getting like messages. So to get a job, they do ask algorithms a lot in interviews. And yes and no. So sometimes it really depends like on the company. For example, the two companies that I have been working with, I didn't need to do any math or any algorithms actually. It was purely web development tasks. And the first one, since I was very junior, it was just like show us the project that you built, walk us through it. And then we spoke a little bit about like what was it? Like race conditions. And then hi gear. And then timeouts, console logs and things like that. So it was very, very directed. What was it directed? See, I'm losing my string of thought. Is that the name of it? Sorry, my mind is all over the place. Basically, yes, sometimes companies are asking you, especially if it's a FANG or MANG companies, they will ask you for maths and algorithms. And probably more so if it's not for web dev roles, but also for web dev roles. However, so it's like it's a two-way things. If on one side you don't feel not feel, but if you don't have the goal to work for Mang Fang in those companies, then I think you can actually go and choose the coding challenges that you are gonna be going through. And usually smaller companies, they don't tend to go from for like very complicated tasks, because I don't know, they probably also know and they can resonate with things that like you just should not do it like that. So I would say that there are a lot of companies who don't ask you about algorithms and things. Maybe that depends also on geography, like where you're located and where you're applying to work at. Because in Berlin, I don't know, algorithms are not like a state of mind. So at interviews. So yeah. You're from Nigeria. Cool. Hello, L Simplified. Hey, Sasha. How are you? Ayamiko is saying, I have an interview on Friday and I'm scared because the interview is a live coding interview. For the past 1 week, I have been attempting many algorithms questions. I even enroll on Udemy course. Well, first, I guess, congrats that you have an interview. I could understand that you're scared. And also it's good that you have been preparing. I mean, that's actually the only way to conquer interviews is by preparing for them. And I guess like in the long run, it's also good for you if you train those skills, right? It's kind of like algorithms are supposed to train our logic, our thinking. So if you're preparing for that, it's not a lost time. You are learning a lot and you are preparing yourself and you're like advancing and everything. So that's good. Why would a company want to screen a candidate for 75 minutes algorithm test? That's a very good question. For which role are you applying? I mean, the thing is that why would both sides, assuming it's web development, why would both sides spend their time on, I don't want to say useless thing, but like an overkill thing, right? Whoops, sorry, touch my mic. Why would like this overkill happen if you're not using it at work? So for example, how can you assess things? Let's say you have a candidate and the job role is to work with React. Why would you ask somebody about algorithms, about trees, binary things? I have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but it's like algorithm stuff. Why would you ask that if you won't even be able to assess them for the job? As an interesting point, I was once working with a colleague so the company was not assessing with algorithms things, but the colleague seemed to be very on point with algorithms because that colleague also finished a master's degree in computer science, so I would expect that that's where the knowledge is at. But the colleague didn't even know HTML and has struggled for half a year or a little bit less with HTML, CSS. JavaScript was kind of okay, I guess, vanilla one, but when it came to like Vue.js, React.js, or any other framework. It was a mess. So, what's the freaking point? Same, I don't get why they test algorithms for web development. They can maybe test one question. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you could ask to sort something or to filter something, but you don't need to have this. I saw once insane questions like, you're given 3 types of tickets as like a public transportation tickets. You need to find which one of them is the most is like the cheaper option for a family to buy when they're on holidays and they're going to be traveling on the weekend but also on Tuesday. Like, who does that? What for? Like, why what is your company doing? Like, unless you're some transportation company, and they were not, you will not need that. And even then, I'm pretty sure that it's like one of the most advanced thing in that company, and you would not really do that, you know, or at least not one person. Even like the one time that I did use math at work, we used it almost as a collective gathering because that's the thing, you know. Also, like, you learn for the interview, you get to know things, you work hard, and then once you start working there for a year or two, this knowledge fades away because you are not freaking using it. So yeah, I'm applying for the position of front-end developer. Yeah, so I can understand why it's like confusing why they're asking that. That question. Yeah, that was insane. And that was just like the, how do you call it, like the first question when they sort candidates out. So I don't even know what's coming next. That's insane. And when I see that, I'm just like, bye. I'm just like, no. I also had a company on the other ridiculous side that they were asking to build something in React when they were not even using React. Okay. And then we have to practice again for next interview. Yeah, exactly. I saw on Instagram, I think it was Maya Loves Code, and she had like a reel about how long it takes her, not her, anybody, to plan for a technical interview for the whole like thing, and that it like takes ages. And it's like you need almost like to plan your life around it. You need to really, like, I don't know, half a year for that. That's like madness. Are you planning to do Node.js tutorials anytime soon? No, not really. I used to work closely with Node.js and being more like a full stack around like 2.5 years ago, but since I changed companies, I'm much more of a front-end developer now. Which I don't know if that works for my benefit or not, but maybe I could eventually do Node.js tutorials. Would anybody be interested in Node.js tutorials? I don't know. I feel like there is so much to explore on the front end. Hi, Dana, they want computers, not programmers. Yeah, maybe you're right. But then it's like, but then just like create one algorithm that is gonna do that for you. You don't need to hire like a whole department, right? So, hi, Ahmed. Hey, Feitan. How are you? Hi, chat. Oh, so nice of you to say hi to the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Well, I'm trying. How are you doing? I'm supposed to get a package, and I'm not sure if I will get it in the meanwhile or not. Oops. I feel like my camera is a little bit tilted. I don't know. Yeah, most of the algos we can Google. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I guess like in those interviews, there it's also kind of like frowned upon Googling things, right? You need to know those algorithms by heart. And that's what's annoying me the most, because it's like, who the hell is gonna work as a programmer and not Google things? Who? Like, that's why there are all those like crazy days when Stack Overflow is down and nobody knows what to do. It's impossible. It's problem solving. It's not like being an encyclopedia. Good, thanks for asking. So what are we doing today? Today we're just chatting. We're not coding. I figured like I'm not in the mind space to code, and I guess it wouldn't be fair to kind of like drag you through coding when I'm not into that as well. But I still wanted to come and chat because chat is awesome. And yeah, we're chatting anything. Oh, also because we kind of like in every stream ended up talking anyhow about everything and not coding much, so why not do that, you know? So I did another interview on Monday, and the company HR asked me if I'm going to graduate soon from college, and my reply was no. She was like, why? She was like, we only need graduate for this role, and we will give you 9 months grace to reapply for this position. I was like, thought it is a remote job. What does school have to do with the job? Are they trying to discourage students in college from getting a remote job? What? Wait, so if you're going to graduate soon from college, and then they said that they only need graduates for this role, is it because of the degree then? What's a 9 months grace? What does that mean? I don't even know. Ahmed is saying, I've been coding Java from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. straight. Please send help. I'm done, but I'm burned out. Damn. I think you need a long unwinding, because that's really tough. I mean, it's probably rewarding, right, that you're done, but yeah, I can get it. Need to take some breaks and take care of yourself. Google was made by developers for developers. Yeah, exactly. They knew the struggle. Imagine like building Google without being able to Google. Unimaginable to me. Sometimes, most of the time in my case, CSS hurts my brain. I'm not able to get the layout. Any tips on CSS grid because I'm confident with Flexbox? I also really like Flexbox, but I think it's all about practicing and finding use cases. There is a good research from MDN, you know, like the Mozilla something something. If you type CSS grid MDN, then you would find that resource, and they have like a huge kind of like visual table how to do that. And also there is a CSS grid Froggy, which I think it's also very nice, where you can practice the grid. I don't know if you know those resources already, but also I would say don't like overthink a concept before you're able to use it. Like, learning theory is one thing, but then let's say you eventually end up working on a project where you don't even use grid. So it's like, you would probably pick it up quite fast if you know Flexbox and you're confident with Flexbox, as you're saying, but you just need to find the right use case. CSS grid hurts my brain too, Sasha says. Yeah, maybe that's why we all like Flexbox and we don't use grid. I use grid only like very rarely, only when it's like absolutely necessary. Other than that, please no. So Lauren is saying, hi Dana, I like what you're doing, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Wait. I want to make a shift career from teacher to backend dev and look for a job in Europe. Is it possible? I'm from Morocco. I'm 35 also, so is it possible? So, yes, it is possible. I have colleagues, it's not from Morocco, but from Algeria. But I guess it's kind of like, neighborhooding countries, unless there is something specific for Morocco. But I think if you apply for like bigger companies, then there would be no really issue. The thing is, what you need to show is your willingness to learn, how much you're doing on your own, and really sell your transition, your shift career as a strength. Because it requires a lot of courage to change things and to pursue them. It's, I don't want to also like downplay on people who are doing it at a younger age, straight after college or something, because it's still hard, it's still a thing. And they were just lucky to get into it straight away. But I can also very much relate because I'm also a career changer. I didn't do it at 35, of course. I did it at 27. But still, it's very much possible. The industry is changing, so I wouldn't be able to think of a reason why not to. So come to our side. I'm done with lab 2. I have 10 labs to do, each with 5-8 programs. Ooh. Well, but probably you should tackle it tomorrow, right? You should kind of like give yourself a break. They had Bing or Yahoo right before Google. Yeah. But they didn't probably have Stack Overflow, right? I think Stack Overflow was introduced in like 2000s of something. 2000s of something. What does that even mean? Ready to join the C# gang? I hear it's a toughy one. I don't just know, I was confused too. So if you were confused, you could always ask them back. Like, hey, could you elaborate please why the 9-month grace period? What is exactly missing? I'm not sure I understand, or something of that kind. Because sometimes maybe people just, so I also heard of people just like sending wrong emails to other people. Or maybe like just being busy with other things and just like replying something like super unrelated. So just better ask them again. It's always good to do that, because that's kind of like, if you don't understand it, you need to ask it. Thank you, Dana. No problem, and all the best. And also find something that makes you want to learn it, and also have a good reason why you're switching careers, and that's going to be a good drive for you. So best of luck. Sashin is saying, I guess that's a mutual feeling for everyone. Yeah, it looks like, right? Why did my playlist stop? Let's find something. There's like the most odd playlist names, like corporate social, car ads, hopeful ads, wedding photo shoot. I guess it's like more themes for videos, like really like video content. But okay, neutral beats is gonna be next after that one. Oh wait, I got an email. So my fridge broke. On top of everything what's happening, my fridge broke, and I didn't want to order like a expensive one because we're gonna be getting like a new kitchen sometime in some place. So it's like, okay, great, now I need to invest in a fridge that is not gonna even last for 2 years. And I just got an email that it's gonna be shipped soon. So yeah. And I'm also not very hungry now during like the whole thing of events. So it has been challenging to keep the food from spoiling. Raj is saying Tailwind CSS versus Bootstrap. Love it all the time. Well, that's like one of the most top questions that I'm getting asked. Tailwind CSS versus Bootstrap. So, Bootstrap is more like a component based styling, and Tailwind is more like a util, not more, it's a util styling. So basically with Bootstrap you can just put a dot button class on something and you're gonna get like the whole button with the hovers, with the shadows and everything. But Tailwind, you actually need to construct this whole thing. So whatever floats your boat really, but I guess as a beginner it's easier to deal with Bootstrap rather than Tailwind, because you still don't know all the hover effects, all the shadows and everything that goes, all the details that goes into it. So I would say go with Bootstrap if you want, but I start really liking Tailwind CSS for many different reasons. But yeah, it starts growing on me. It has of course a learning curve, especially if you're coming from Bootstrap. It's a little bit different. But I think it's pretty cool. Sometimes you can go really wild with Tailwind CSS and you need to kind of like relax, but it has a lot of things to offer. Right? I use Flexbox like 99% of the time. Yeah, I think we all do, right? It's like Flexbox is the best thing that has ever happened to front-end developers. It's my personal opinion that there is not a day that goes without Flexbox. Wait, I missed the chat. Was replying email. You got a fridge? Yeah, so my fridge broke. Hey Tanner, thank you for the sub. So my fridge broke suddenly. It stopped like cooling. So everything was kind of like mushy. And I understood that because suddenly my butter was like in a good room temperature as soon as I take it out of the fridge. Now, like sometimes you need to wait for your butter like to do it, but not this time. And I was like, was the butter out? Like that was suspicious. And then the second day again, this happened, and I was like, what? That's so weird. Luckily, I didn't have much stuff in the fridge. But yeah, it got worse. I cleaned the whole thing yesterday and I thought, okay, maybe like it's clogged somewhere. That's why I had to clean it. That's why it was not cooling. But now I cleaned it and it still didn't. So today was Operation Eat Everything What's in the Fridge. I don't know if you've seen Friends, but there is this episode when Joey's fridge broke and he had to eat everything. That's kind of my state. And I want to cook something, something big, so I don't need to keep cooking every day. But that's not really possible because that's just gonna go bad. I'm thinking to actually take everything that I have in the fridge that's left outside on my balcony because it's like -2, but I'm afraid that my crows are gonna eat it. So I'm still not sure about that. And I hope you were replying to the email in a way that didn't distract you. And it didn't say fridge there, or something. Oh my god, fridge cleaning is so hard. I have some issues with my fridge. My cheese keeps molding. No, I can't figure out why. Is it because of like the place where you put the cheese? Because it has like, like the different levels and they get like different coolings. I don't know. My fridge is not that sophisticated. My fridge was like heritaged with this flat, so I don't even know how old it is. I'm afraid to even look it up. It was a long overdue to get a new fridge, but I just thought that I could like stretch 1 or 2 more years. I had to ask my husband to help me with the email. I don't know what I was typing. Oh, balcony has fridge. Yeah. Actually, I learned that from my grandma. She's always doing that. She has like a whole supply on her balcony. But it's kind of like a loggia. I don't know if that's the name in English, but like when they close, it's kind of like a closed balcony. So all the supplies are there. They didn't even need a fridge. Like, I think she just bought a fridge recently because there was no need in that. Well, for the summer, yes, but for winter, no. How long do you think full stack dev lasts? I didn't know they have expiration. What do you mean by that, Sri? Oh, that could be it. People said the top is more moisture or something. I don't know. I'll continue experimenting. Yeah. Oh, I was experimenting like with the so you can set the temperature there, and the temperature setter there is also like very vintage. Like you have a scale from 1 to 6. That's it. That's all the information you get. So I was like, okay, let's try 1, let's try 3, let's try 5, let's try 6. Nothing changes. Like everything is the same. So I figured it also does like a weird noise, like a and I figured fixing that fridge is gonna cost me more than just like buying a cheaper version of it. So let's see. There are also some discounts now because it's like a change of the year, and I guess like old years, so like previous years models are discounted now. So let's see. It's supposed to arrive in 3 days. Until then, I need to find a solution. I was thinking maybe asking my neighbor to use her fridge. Mine too makes that noise. No way. I had a friend who was sleeping over and she was actually making fun of the fridge that it's not supposed to make a noise. And I was like, what? All the fridges make noises. Like, what are you talking about? My cats get freaked out by that sound. Yeah, I can imagine. And also sometimes just like out of the blue, it starts doing this sound. So weird. And what about in summer? Yeah, so in summer, I mean, most of the things that they have, they didn't really need fridges, I guess. Like it was all kind of like, like dry things that you just like store somewhere, I guess. Or maybe she had an old fridge, but like a small one, right? You probably would not survive summer without a fridge. Maybe I just don't remember that. I don't know. Yes, randomly. Exactly. Oh, those freaky fridges. It's so random and so weird. Let's see, I'll keep you posted if my new fridge is gonna make any noise. I assume yes, because it's also a cheap fridge. It's like 300 euros or so. But it's fine. I also have like limitation because I need to put it like, in the way that it fits in this current kitchen, so you cannot go wild there. Oh yeah, whatever. Hi neighbor, here to get my oat milk for my coffee, please. Yeah. Good thing about oat milk though is that it's not so sensitive as regular milk, right? Like I was drinking today the oat milk that was in the fridge and it was fine. I'm still fine. So I guess it's fine. But yeah, if that would be like, and the butter is also, it's like not super melted, it's just like a little bit melted, so it's okay. But I just think that if I would put like food there, then it's gonna go bad very fast. Maybe I can create like some container on the balcony. Because now, let me see, what's the... Well, okay, it's 3 degrees. Anyway, it's still colder than my fridge. I bet my fridge is like 10. And it's gonna be a minus all the time. Like -2, -3, -4. So it should be right. I don't know, that's in Celsius, right? That's not in Fahrenheit. I don't know the Fahrenheit one. Wait, I can Google that. Let's see. What is 3 degrees? So it's 37 Fahrenheit. That's like the 3 degrees. And then at night, it's supposed to be 28. Or... $24, something like that. I don't know Fahrenheit. Oh, okay. Aren't they using Fahrenheit in the US? Or you're just like, yeah, whatever the weather is. Any boxes you can make paper fridge for balcony? I'm just thinking of like a box that I would need that the crows would not open. And that's a tricky one because they're quite smart birds. And I have trained to be besties with them. So I feed them peanuts because we have a rival neighbor here, and I figured that they don't like the neighbor, so I got them on my side in case there is some disagreement on the street, so then they kind of like attack him. So we're besties with them. They come every day, and we already got into a point that I can stand on the balcony and they can sit on my flower pots and they would not fly away. So that's a very good relationship development, I would say, after like a year or two of doing that. They also get very sensitive whenever I leave for holidays. They're like pissed because then they leave and they don't come back for at least like a couple of months. So I don't know. Maybe they don't like me that much. They're just like, oh, food girl, okay. And then if I'm gone, they're like, whatever. Not sure. Probably 30 or 25. Yeah, something like that. Hi Vivek, how are you? They do, but I use Celsius for my phone weather app, and for baking I have to use Fahrenheit. Yeah, this is so annoying. Like every time there are some websites that offer like this cooking things with like a switcher between Celsius and Fahrenheit, but some of them don't, and it's like the whole cooking process is basically switching from one tab to another, trying to convert all those things. It's so annoying. Oh, the crows miss you. Yeah, maybe. And then they're like, we're gonna show her that we're the bosses here. I don't know. But I think like they have been being a little bit like pushy with their desires, because I usually give them like 4 peanuts. So 2 for one and 2 for another one. And sometimes they start fighting, and I think like they're getting a little bit bitchy with each other. So I need to figure that out. I don't want to create rivalry between the crows. I need them to be united with me against the rival neighbor. I don't need to have like any civil wars there. Pushy. They also figure, so my balcony is stretched from the kitchen to the living room, so it's like a long balcony, and I give them like the peanuts from the kitchen because that's where the peanuts are, and I just go out on the balcony there, and then I come to the living room and I sit on the couch, and I could see like if this is like the kitchen, that they're like do 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 do, and they're like hello, hello. I'm like, leave me alone. You had your peanuts. Sounds like my cat. Yeah, when I bet the cats are even harder to like to ignore, because they're just like, they're there. How are they doing, by the way, both of them? Like, are they like fine with each other? They're like united against you. Crows are smart. I read somewhere that they actually have the capacity to mimic speech like parrots, but that their tongue is attached at the bottom, so they physically can't. Interesting. Must be tough that you can, but you can't. Like, how could somebody investigate that they actually can and they have the capacity, but they physically can't? Like, did somebody tell them that? I'm imagining the crowd saying hello. I might have overdone it, but it's like, yeah, they're like, you know, with their thingy, they come like this, like, so. And if you don't pay attention to them, they come even closer and they're like, so what's up? So yeah, it's funny. I'm surprised that still nobody complained about me to the agency that rents out the flats. I expected the rivalry neighbor to do that, but so far he's like not saying anything. Maybe because he's actually afraid. They're more friendly with each other now, but one of them loves to instigate a fight and provokes the other one. No. I guess they're keeping it fun, right? Or trying to create some drama in their lives. They also love to steal each other's food. Can I ask a question? Actually, I'm starting with React. Can you please tell me a roadmap for a start? Well, actually, there is a good resource called Frontend Roadmap. Let me find it. It's a roadmap.sh, and there are like people who have done an amazing job on creating that roadmap. So I would highly recommend you to check it. I don't think I can drop it here. Let me see if I can drop a link in the chat. But yeah, let me roadmap here. I think you can, right? Oh, where's Doggo? Doggo moved to the south of Germany. So yeah, we had her for one night, for one last weekend before she left. But we said we're gonna go visit her. She's the sweetest and the cutest dog. I really miss her. Like, we talk about her every freaking day. It's insane. But yeah, missing her a lot. Just had dinner, I'm back. What did I miss? Well, you missed a lot. We talked about crows and we talked about fridges making weird noises. So, but we keep on talking. No, doggo, I know. So sad. But on the other hand, she's gonna be closer to her grandparents. She's getting a new flat with a big balcony. So she's getting a good chapter in her life. So that's that. Speaking of React, do you have any videos covering Redux? Actually, no, because I have not used Redux properly myself. Like, I think I touched once a project that had Redux, but I didn't touch the code with the Redux. And I don't have any desire learning Redux. I don't know if that's like something bad to say, but I think like with the use reducer and with the use context, the new things of React, like, there is really almost no need to cover Redux unless you are really building like a super complex application or working in a super complex application. Luckily, that has not been my case in terms of, I mean, the applications are complex, but not to the complexity where they introduced Redux. So I've been lucky avoiding it. Hi, Dana. Hey, Okasima. How easy it is to get a web dev job in Germany? So that depends. It depends if you are already in Germany. It depends if you have a visa for Germany. It depends how many years of experience you have. So if you're from the outside, a junior, with a need of a visa, then that could be more tough, because you would need to find a company that will sponsor your visa, or like basically give you enough money for you to qualify for the visa. But if you're already in Germany and you have everything, so I see you're saying I'm an international student here in Germany, so I guess you would just need to swap the visa type, right? I think if you're applying in Berlin or also here in Munich is kind of like becoming a place, then you should have enough options to eventually find a job. I don't think it's easy. Like, no job is easy to find. That's like how the market is in terms of like hiring processes and people answering or not, or like the procedures and the things that they make you go through. But it's doable. It's totally doable. You just need to have persistence, patience, portfolio, and desire. So yeah, good luck. Can you please tell me what mistakes you have done so that I can do better? Which type of mistakes would you mean? Because I think everybody's doing a lot of mistakes in general in life. Although, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think them of mistakes as mistakes. I usually think them as learning experience. And I'm not like bullshitting here. I really look at life like that. So it's hard for me to think of a mistake per se. That's why I need you to tell me more which direction you're asking. React or Angular, whatever you like. I don't know Angular. I cannot say anything about it. Hey there, how's everyone doing? How are you, everybody? Let's answer, Masbahi. Yeah, I learned old school Redux using Connect, etc. I just got a new job where they use Redux, so I need to brush up on it. Well, and since you already learned the old school Redux, then I guess like the concept is familiar to you. And I guess in general, right, like the concept is still the same. If you're using Redux, user-reducer, even Vuex, anything, it's all like dispatching actions and all of this kind of stuff. So the nitty-gritty of the framework, you could probably catch up with it quite fast when you're on the job, right? Because then you have like the use cases, you also have some code already there, so you can follow the chain that is happening. So it's not that you're not implementing everything from scratch by yourself and you need to figure out how to do it. You still have like the example of the existing application, which is also like another thing that I actually enjoy when it comes to working in somebody's code base, because you get to see a lot of how people code and learn from that, hopefully learn good things rather than bad habits. But yeah, what are some of your favorite free UI WebKits besides Bootstrap? So Tailwind released a new kind of components library. They're not all free, but there's some of it is free. So I could probably say that. But I was pretty okay with Bootstrap and I was using it a lot. And then of course in the two companies that I have worked with and still working with, we have our own in-house thing. Oh, wait, we did use once. What was that? Wait, let me Google that. There was one. It was okay. I wouldn't say that it was like something special. UI kit? I mean, it was pretty similar to Bootstrap, so I wouldn't say that it was something so different. Yeah, that's another one that I know. I still think that Tailwind kind of rocks, so I would always keep on directing you to Tailwind, I guess. Thank you. Totally agree. Love your channel, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you. And best of luck in learning. You can do this. Oh, and of course, also congrats on the new job. I don't know why I focus so much on Redux, but yay. Just asking, you work with React Native? No, actually I haven't worked with React Native. And that's funny because recruiters still keep on texting you about React Native because you still have React like on your LinkedIn. So it's kind of like it's kind of like texting somebody who knows JavaScript to work with Java. Okay, maybe not to that extreme, but also I wouldn't know because I didn't work with React Native, right? So maybe it is. But anyway, no, I didn't work with React Native, but I think I heard it has a lot of issues in terms of like being super hard to work with, like hard to the updates that they have. I don't know. That's just like things I've heard and they're just like in the back of my mind whenever I hear React Native. I think there are some other cool frameworks for native apps if you are not developing in the native language. There was something like that is like JavaScript based, not React Native. But yeah, I think there are several ones of them now popping up, so there are a lot of choices. But I guess in general, if you're planning or doing native apps, then you kind of need eventually probably as a developer to learn like the language of the app itself, or not of the app, of the platform. So, I don't know. Java has one too many methods. I'm forever scared. Oh, really? So one of my colleagues, he's a Java developer, and he's always like throwing jokes about JavaScript being like lame comparing to Java. So I don't know. But I guess like with Java, the easier part is that it doesn't change as much as JavaScript. And in general, like the backend is a little bit more chilled than the front end. So I guess once you learn all of those methods and you're like at a comfortable level, you're set for life. What's the next step after React? So is this the step after HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React? Or you just had React? Because that depends. True that, yeah. I actually never thought of it like that, but yeah. Was there a time in your job you hated working with XYZ tech? If yes, how did you stay positive? Yeah. Yes. It's actually pretty hard. I won't lie. It's hard in a way that coding for yourself and coding for a job is very different. Exactly for this reason. If you get stuck with tech that you don't enjoy and it gives you only obstacles, then it's quite hard to find a motivation to work with it. But then that also depends on the structure of the company. Like, are you able to talk to a manager? Are you able to be the one or within the ones who can change that? Because then it could give you a little bit more hope, Otherwise, it's not really. It's a little bit hard to motivate yourself. But I usually like to look at it as hey, another thing you learn, another thing you overcome. At the end of the day, we're problem solvers, so you kind of need to solve the problem that you have. It takes me a while to motivate myself to do the task, but I'm trying not to complain about it in order, like, not to keep my mood even more down. So yeah, I would say trying to kind of like see through the task that you have and to just work through it. And if it's recurring that you need to do that, then I would ask if it's possible to maybe do something. So what I mean is, for example, if the tech stack is very old and it's legacy and you start noticing that it creates more issues rather than benefiting the company as well, because the longer it takes you to develop something, the business suffers from that. And there is also more implications on security, on updates, and all of these things. So if it's possible to change it, I think that can be an exciting project to do. But also, if you really feel that this is not your thing and you're super hating it and the company is not going to change at all, then maybe you need to change the company, because it's like there is a lot of tech out there, and you should not feel miserable at work when you're doing work every day, you know. Your channel got monetized. No, it didn't. Why do you think so? It's still not monetized. Let me just find another music. Let me show you the modern classic. They have like 3 playlists. Hey Danielle, a little personal, but do you have any advice or words of wisdom when confronted with a program that I must code, but it looks very intimidating? When confronted with a program that I must code, but it looks very intimidating. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why I still have a ticket that I haven't touched. Well, I guess like there is really no other way, both for me and for you, just actually like going for it and doing it, right? Like you need to tackle that task. There is no other way around it. And I think that the way how I'm gonna tackle it once I'm back to work is I'm gonna break it into small things. So my ticket, for example, consists of doing the part of the code as well as connecting it to a framework that the company is using. And by breaking it into smaller things, like for example, work first on the framework connection and kind of like succeeding bit by bit, can make it less intimidating because you're making smaller progresses. So it's kind of like watching the whole wall that you need to climb, but then you kind of like go brick by brick, I would say. And that's kind of like, that also works with learning anything, or yeah, any tasks of that kind. When we break it to smaller things, then it's easier to kind of like offload it from our brain and have less of this overwhelmed feeling, and just kind of like, okay, let's do this first step, and then I'll see, and then I'll take a break, you know. All there, I'll just like, good job. So maybe that can help you. What were your aha moments in React? I guess when I started reading recently the beta docs of React, things started clicking a little bit better. Like with the use effects, with the updates of the whole component. I think the moment of real, like, so if you declare a const in a component and your component gets re-rendered, that const also gets updated. So it's not something that you need to add in the state. It's like, I'm talking like super on the surface here, but those are the little of the aha moments that I had. But I'm still looking to get an aha moment with all the hooks from React, which are still a mystery. And I think like many people don't even know how to use them, and we all end up just using use effect and use state, and that's it. Okay, use reducer, that's all. Everything else is kind of like, what the hell is going on? I don't know how to use it. I don't know what's the benefit of using one or another. So we end up as an industry not using them. And that sucks because it exists for a reason, I'm sure. Yes, it did. Check your Instagram DM. Did you see an ad? Because I heard people seeing ads on my channel, but I'm not monetized, I can tell you that. Okay, cool. I mean, Yeah, no, I know where to check the monetization. It's not monetized yet. I'm very close though, so maybe like YouTube is like doing some trials to see if I'm worth it. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully soon. That would be interesting to see. So where were we? So Jose saying, "Hey, glad didn't miss the stream. It is hard to change a company's mind and system. So 99% of the time, it's better to change company." I think that depends on where the company is at and the company itself. Because I think that, like, so if I'm thinking about the two companies that I have experience with, if I would come there and openly talk about the tech being this and this and bring in the benefits of why we should change the tech and them being reasonable and also business-wise reasonable, right? Because we're not only coding, we're also coding for business. And those are the two things that, like, it's like the reality that comes once you start coding for work. That you cannot just say like, oh, I hate React, I just want to do Vue.js. Like, it's not justifiable for the company to spend time on changing the framework, which is essentially just a framework. The end user is not going to see any difference. The company stakeholders are not going to see any difference. Only you as a coder are going to see difference. And most of the time, it's just like a personal preference. So when it comes to personal preferences, I don't think the company is going to go for that because there is no business value in spending the time on you refactoring the code. And if it's a complex app, then that's going to take ages. So unless you find good benefit for also the business to invest in that, probably the company is not going to budge. But it's up to you to find your interest in the company's interest as well. You know what I mean? Probably didn't say it right, but you know what I mean. Hi, Daniela. Do you had a time where you had bad anxiety when you dealt in coding? How did you pull through it? Probably not with the coding itself. I mean, I get a little bit nervous when it comes to code reviews, especially because everybody has an opinion. And sometimes, like, it's just, I know that sometimes people do code reviews just for the sake of doing a code review in terms of like, oh, you need to move this. And that's just like a fucking personal opinion. So don't like waste my time on that. This is the moment where I get like really pissed because I work in a big company and it takes a lot of effort, time, and power to get something to the to the point of a code review. There's a lot of like steps and a lot of corporate procedures involved. So if like you get to that point and you get just like an opinion and you're just like, why are you saying this? Like, is it actually going to make the code better? Is it just making you feel better that you commented something? So those, I guess, are the things that are not necessarily making me anxious, but making me pissed. And then I'm just like, recently, I started just being like, yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah, no problem. I'm just like, it's like in this reel, you know, if you want to argue with me that 2 + 2 is 5, no problem. It's fine, no problem. And for some reason, it keeps on being the same people, you know. Sometimes they do have right reviews, and those are take, and like, you know, you learn from them. But sometimes they're just like, you know, skip to the good part. React beta docs are just gold. Yes, they are. And I'm really waiting for them to extend them because it's like, I even like during winter, I had a whole, I don't know, a period of time where I would just wake up and start reading them because they were actually interesting to read. I don't know, maybe I've gone like too nerdy in React. Thank you. I have a mock soon for my Java object-oriented class, so I needed some word of wisdom. Well, I hope it helped, and best of luck. There's an issue with YouTube and the community with ads. Ads may be appearing in non-monetized channels videos. Yeah, I heard so too. I heard that YouTube reserves the right to put ads wherever they want. Rightfully so, I guess. So yeah, if you see an ad, I'm not yet monetized, but I still, I guess, it's still probably counting somewhere, right? So I would appreciate you watching the ad. You could also click on it. Yay, I hope you get monetized soon. Yay, I hope so too. And yes, I didn't skip it. That's the least I could do. Thank you very much. Hello, beautiful. Tech with Mela here. How are you feeling today? Hi, Carmen. I'm chatting makes it better. How are you? Any career tips, recommendations for freshers? Ooh. I mean, a lot. So I guess if you're applying for jobs, sorry, then be sure to have a portfolio, to have a good, clear CV. Have a website. I think that helps. Really sell your, if you're a career changer, sell that. If you're a bootcamper, sell that. If you're a self-learner, sell that. If you had this passion since you were 5 years old, sell that. Really find your strengths and sell them in the best way possible. Also, don't get frustrated on the job hunt because things are tough, but they're doable. I always say that it's very hard to get your first job, but after that first job, it's gonna be much easier. I mean, I changed a job only once so far. So I don't really know how it's gonna go later on if I choose to change the job, but I know that from my junior job to my mid-level job, like the change was so much easier. So much easier. It's insane. But as a junior, I applied for like 75 jobs, I think. I really had like a whole month where I was applying like crazy. And I found that that was the way how to tackle it. But it also depends on your location, on the situation in the location you're at, on the pandemic, I guess. So be patient. Yeah. Oh yeah, and what I was saying is that I applied for like 75 jobs. Only 25 of them eventually answered in general. And I think only like 5 or 10, I don't remember exactly, said like, yes, let's continue. And then only one gave me an offer, and I took the first offer because I kind of like the company, I like the people there. So, and the offer was fine for me. So that was like a win-win. And I'm still friends with them. So, with some of them, not everybody. But yeah. The interactive part that they added in beta React docs is really amazing. Yeah, I agree. It really helps you. I'm a big fan of Vue.js docs because they're super simple, but I also think that Vue.js is in general like a very simple framework, at least the second version of it. I didn't try the third one, so I can't say. But the React beta docs now, they start looking a little bit more down to earth, let's put it like that, because before it was just like a mess. I remember being in the coding bootcamp, and our teacher was like, okay, we have a component that we need to render, but you need to find how to render it conditionally if something is true. Not a ternary operator, but only if it's true. We, as a whole class, we searched the whole freaking docs, everything there, and it was still not clear. So it's like after half an hour, the teacher was like, oh, but here it is. And it was like wrapped in some weird wording that nobody even understood that it could like figure that that's what they meant. So I don't know. That was pretty devastating to work with React back then. Would you recommend in office or remote to freshers? I think that actually depends how people work remotely and how people work in office. Main point is that for both things, you need to be a very good communicator, not only you as a fresher, but also your colleagues who you're gonna join. Because it doesn't matter if you're in the office or if you're remote. If people are not talking, not communicating, don't know how to work together, it really doesn't matter the environment they're in. But let's say if the communication is good and everything, then sometimes it might help as a beginner to first have like an onboarding maybe in the office. It also depends how complex everything is. But maybe it helps you feel a little bit more in touch with the people and with coding and with the code base and everything. If you can do it in office. But again, I think that if you have like very good communicators, like virtually, and there are so many tools to help you with that and to help them with that, that it's really up to the people to create a good environment for communication. So it really depends. It also depends how you learn best and how you communicate best. My throat starts kicking me. Let me check. I think I saw some tags. Yay, Sasha tagged. Let me reshare. Thoughts on using React with Redux? So, I guess that depends if you actually need to use Redux. Because, if there is no need to use Redux, maybe that's an overkill and you don't need to go that whole kind of like way of using Redux. But again, I got blank. So yeah, if there is no need to use Redux per se, per the complexity of the app, then I personally would avoid it. If I can use reducers or use states even, then I would just go with that. But yeah, I guess Redux is built for React, right? So it makes sense to use it if you need it. But don't go straight away into Redux. Don't do like premature optimization. Just a moment, let me get more water. How does someone know he is done with frontend after learning React.js and Redux? Oh, you're never done. Like, this concept doesn't exist. There's no done endpoint. Good afternoon, I just discovered this channel. Hey, Majed. I have done weather app to do app. Should I continue with more projects or jump into backend? Jump into backend and then see how to combine backend and front end. But yeah, totally. If you've done several apps and you feel okay enough, then go for it. My greatest challenge that no one did before is OLX clone. I hope participate in such challenge. Like OLX is like any other marketplace, right? Am I thinking about the same thing? Let me go. Yeah, okay. There are probably like people who have done like clone of eBay's or stuff like that, right? Or Amazon. What else do we have? These kind of things. So maybe like don't focus on the OLX brand per se, but just Google maybe some marketplaces or e-commerce. So something like that maybe could help. Thanks, my question answered. Yay, happy to hear that. I believe the companies have made Redux more of a buzzword because even if they aren't using it, they want you to make a shopping cart using Redux in a live coding. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, I would say bye. Like, shopping carts are the death of me. Like, seriously, I had one company and they were like, "Oh, can you build us like an e-commerce website?" And I'm like, "No." Like, why? This is so time consuming. And but okay, maybe it is a valid option to build like a tiny shopping cart. Maybe I'm just like jumping here to conclusions. But okay, I mean, if they have Redux, then and Redux is a lot of boilerplate code, then maybe you could practice that. But it's so specific. Like, I feel that companies who actually know things, then you kind of as an interviewer, right? Interviewer, you would most likely or use a framework like React, for example, as an option. But other than that, I would go even vanilla JavaScript. I don't know. Because I think like demanding for somebody to know Redux and like shrinking your candidate pool with that is a little bit weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing something. Thanks for this space, DanaScript. Thank you very much for being part of it. I actually coined this dev name IOScript after I took your React Web API project. You're one of the best here on YouTube. Oh, thank you so much. This means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Let's do it OLX. And greetings from Algeria. Hello, Algeria. Hello, Janil. How are you? The difference between Amazon and OLX is that in OLX, everybody can publish his ad. Well, but when you build it, you could still like do a clone of Amazon, but then like challenge yourself and create like the option for everybody to publish the ad, right? That can be your challenge. My personal belief is that if you cut an apple, managed state, with a knife, context API, then don't use a sword. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very good, well put thing. That makes sense. I mean, so wait a second. Redux is for complex applications, but you can use Redux is easier for big applications, but context for minor projects. Yeah, so that what I hear. That Redux is making it's more fit when it comes to like bigger applications. We need to do like the actions and dispatches from and reading the states and everything from different places, like very, very, very complex ones. But I also think that we are underestimating the use context. I think like there can be a lot that is achieved and done with use context, use reducer. Sometimes like I work with very complex applications, I think. At least in my opinion, they are quite complex. Or maybe they're not complex in that regard. Are they? Somewhat complex. And we're not using Redux. Maybe we will. I don't know. Let's see. But are we? No. Wait. I don't think so. So the thing why I'm not sure if we're using Redux, sorry, is because I was not the one building the application. My department is more like plugging into current applications and we're building within the application. But I don't think there's Redux there. Use context, use reducer equals Redux. Yeah, I mean, you could create your own Redux, right? Make it more custom and maybe less boilerplatey. But yeah, I have this app that I built with my partner called Learn by Ear. You can find it in learnbyear.io. And there we used use context and use reducer. And, you know, it was kind of all right. I won't complain. Hoping everyone is keeping safe. Sending some help and love from Portugal. Thank you so much, Anna. Redux is for complex apps, no? Yes. Yes. Redux is for complex apps. Oh, wait, I got a news about my fridge. Wait a second. Guten Tag. Do. Whoa. It's already being sent. Wait a second. Maybe I'm gonna get it tomorrow. What? And then I don't need to store my food in the balcony. And I can make a soup? Let's see. Ooh, when it's arriving. Well, they say that, so they have like a progress bar, you know, like Apple has on their products, and it has like the order and the sending status, and it's on sending status. I mean, they have only two options, but they say that in 1-2 days they're gonna contact me. So I assume in 1-2 days. Let's see. I also think because I live quite central and close to the shop, so they can deliver it quicker. But yeah, bastards still charge for like the delivery costs. Like you're ordering a freaking fridge, like who is gonna not get like a delivery for it? Could have included that in the price, but whatever. Let's hope. Maybe I'm even gonna get like an SMS today. Denikos15 says, hello, congrats, and thanks for all your work in online and for sharing with us your knowledge. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody joining and everybody also sharing their experiences and asking questions and being very respectful of each other. So that's also thank you for you. Why sometimes we get a blank page in localhost? Beginner question. You get a blank page in localhost mostly if your app is not running. So if you type the localhost thingy and there is nothing, there is no project that is running to serve on that localhost, then you're not going to see anything on the localhost. And if it happens that it was running, so you were seeing something and then you made some changes in the code and it didn't, or maybe you clicked around and now you don't see anything, then most likely you crashed the project and you need to restart the server. How do you get the assets images from Dribble when you're making clone UIs? I think I create them myself because I think you don't get them from Dribble. You mean the ones to use inside of the websites? Unless I found them online, so like in another place. For example, if I think we had like a Corona app thingy, and I had some were like some people, you know, with like 3 people with phones or something, and those ones are found. I think I found it, or no, I can't remember the website, but there is a website where you can find a lot of such illustrations, and you can even change their colors. So also, what sometimes I do is I take the image and I put it in Google Images and then see the results that I get, and that can also be like a good hint to see where those images were from, because most of the time the designers are also using some assets from the online world. I don't know, I'm sounding like such a grandma saying that, but from the internet basically. Let's find, okay, I told you that we're gonna play neutral beats. Let's see. In one of the last streams, like I think 2 streams prior, the one that I did like several months ago, I actually forgot. So I usually put a playlist on Spotify and I put it to repeat itself. So once it's done, repeat itself. And I forgot to click on that. And it started playing something else and I got like a copyright warning. So now there is one stream where I had to mute the music, and I'm not sure, but luckily it was just like, I don't know, a minute and I was not talking, I was only coding, so that's okay. But now I am trying another music and I hope it helps. Not helps, I hope it works well with the stream. npm start and sometimes even npm run dev and app.js is there, but blank page when I put hello index html, it displays it. That's hard to tell. You would really need to check the project. When you do npm start or npm run dev, what does the console give you in the terminal? Is it actually running? Because it sounds like it doesn't. Or wait, you mean that when you actually put hello world, then it displays it? That sounds funky. I mean, if there is no hello world, then it would just display you a blank page. It depends. Console is okay. Well, you should maybe like follow some tutorial on the tech that you're using to see maybe there's like a step that you're missing or something. I wouldn't know like that. It's hard to tell. Wait, did I get another email? No email. Have you ever read any book for React.js? I think when I was in the bootcamp, my teacher did buy a React.js book, and I tried to read it, but no. Like I started having books about coding only recently because I really wasn't like in the like coding is really about coding, about like practicing it. So reading about it wasn't really my thing. Now I do start reading a little bit more about things because I have like the mental capacity to read those things, but before that I didn't. And also like reading a book about React.js, I don't know if you need everything there. And also like the frameworks, they change so often that it might be an overkill to write even a book about React.js. I don't know. Maybe it's like a collection of articles. But no, I wouldn't know what to recommend, Then how many months will it take to learn Node.js? Well, Node.js is a completely different beast, right, than front end. It's also a lot about the backend and about how the things are operating on the backend. So it's not like you're gonna learn front end and then backend is gonna be easier. I mean, it will be easier because you know already JavaScript, so you're aware of like functions, loops, declaring variables, and things like that. But it's still quite different, and there are a lot of things that are not the same on the back end when they are in the front end. So I don't know how many months. It depends how much time you put into it, how much capacity you have, and how you learn. But it's gonna take some time. Because it's not only Node.js, right? It's also the frameworks that come with Node.js and the libraries. So I'll put my project tomorrow morning on GitHub. Can you please take a look? Because I visited tons of forums on the net, but they had all these problems since the time, but no one solved it. If I will have time, then I can take a look at it, but I can't promise. But also, if you just started a project and many forums have the same problem, then just go for another tech. Just like don't go with something that is already problematic on the first go. Did you solve the mystery of this keyword in JavaScript? You mean like the this? Yeah, I mean, it's not a mystery anymore to me. I think actually working with Vue.js helped a lot to understand the this keyword. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't intimidate me anymore. Let's put it like that. No problem. There was like a very good so in my coding bootcamp there was this one guy who was super smart and he got things so well. But again, it's not because, I mean, of course, I don't want to like put him down that he was not smart. He is smart, but also he had been learning coding and like doing free code camps and things like that for I think like 7 or 8 months before joining the bootcamp, and he did it like full time. So of course he had the advantage of having all that prior knowledge. And when we didn't know what this was, or it's like, what the hell is this? Like, what? Then he came to us, tried to explain it. We still didn't understand it. Then he showed us one video that he said that was good, but to me, I mean, I think if you Google like this keyword, then it's gonna pop up because it has like this on the screen. So maybe that can help you. But I think like with a little bit of practice and understanding scope, and also writing arrow functions versus regular functions can help you understand a little bit more this concept. Which JavaScript project did you think can help junior web developers to land first job? A project that you are interested in. I mean, of course, ideally, if we are talking about an ideal world, you would build a project that is solving a problem of your life. So anything that you're passionate about and maybe like a pain of your life that you have that you want to solve and bring it live as a project, I think that is priceless. Because I mean, if you're building like to-do apps, even weather apps, it's good for practice and it's all good for learning. But think about it that as your peers, who are your competitors in the application process, they're going to bring the same thing. So you would need something that distinguishes you between the others, and probably showing something that is a little bit more complex as a project can help with that. Of course, the project is not everything, but that maybe can give you like the first step or being a little bit ahead of others. But you can also have like many smaller projects, right? I think it really depends, but if you are into creating like your one big project, then make it something that is like solving your problem. So you have like even more passion talking about it. You know, it's also a lot about product. It's not only coding, it's vision. So there's a lot of things going on into that. I was learning Python while I discovered React.js and Mern. I like machine learning and turned to web dev. Oh, really? Why did you decide to go to web dev? Is that like more interesting and hits like better your path? Good night, Ayumiko. Thank you for joining. Vue.js versus Angular. Which one would have less learning curve after React.js? I think Vue.js, as far as I know, I might be wrong because I have never worked with Angular or learned Angular, but from what I've heard, it's a different beast to tackle. So I would say Vue.js is good. And has a less learning curve after React.js. It's still different, but I think like it's similar. I mean, probably at the end of the day, they're all similar, right? Because they're based on JavaScript. Once again, thanks for the space. Thank you. Hey, Abdul, how are you? Did I say already hi? I think I read the message, but I don't remember if I said hi. But I'm impressed living machine learning and going to web dev. I think many people actually try, well, not many people, but I hear here and there that people do like web dev and machine learning because it's like so fancy and everything, and it's just like it's probably cool to learn it, but I guess there is also a lot of math. I think we're back. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. My phone is about to die, but before I leave, I just want to say thank you and I hope you feel better. You're a great person and a great developer, and wish you nothing but the best. Take care, Daniela. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Really, thank you. I appreciate that. And I wish you all the best with all your labs and all your learnings. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care too. I love machine learning and I was graduated in that in 2007, but no way to practice it here. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. And are you considering like, are there any options like to work remotely maybe with machine learning? I don't know if you want to change locations or anything, or is it too hard? Or would you need some practice in order to go somewhere with that? Bye, Ahmed. Thanks for the responses. Hope to see you soon again with another amazing project. Yay! Thank you, Sashin. Well, we're still not done with the what was it, with the Welly wellness website. I'm just taking a little bit of a break from coding because you know. But yeah, I hope so too. Those neutral beats are actually pretty nice. Dun, 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 dun. What else can I tell you? I don't have much actually. Was there something else I wanted to say? I'm not sure. Oh, I was wondering if I should do like some vlogging stuff. I don't know if that would be interesting to anybody, and that's a lot of work. So I don't know if I should just stick to coding, but also like coding is not everything in my life, even though it might look like that, but it's not. So I'm not sure about that. I love really Python, too friendly and easy to learn and practice, but Mern has many opportunities for jobs. Yeah, I understand that. I heard Python is really good. If I were to learn another language, that would be Python. I would be really interested. On YouTube, yeah, I thought doing it here. Agree, coding is only 20% of my life. Yeah. I mean, okay, work takes a lot of my time. um, but even at work, like coding is not, surprisingly, it's not number one. So yeah. I had to watch your vlogs. Oh, thank you, Sasha. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like interested in doing vlogs because like it's kind of cool also the part of like editing, adding the music, doing like some, I don't know, effects on videos. So I feel it's just like another outlet of like exploring things and being creative. So I was thinking about that, but also like on the other hand, like not doing anything in my life. I could probably vlog that, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll see how I feel about that. Maybe once things are more calmer. Python is a very good choice, especially for data science and ethical hacking. Yeah, that's what I hear. There's also R, right? People are using for data science or data analysts. I don't want anybody to throw like tomatoes at me. I'm not sure. I know there is a big difference there, but I always keep on forgetting it because I'm just like, oh, okay, I understood, and then I forget it. Because I guess I'm not really involved in those topics, so I'm not really sure. But yeah. I also think there are some like resources for kids to learn, and those are also Python based because it seems like super easy in that way. I don't know. Vlogs are stressful. People will always check what you are doing. No privacy at all. Well, but you're still deciding what to show in your vlogs. You are like the driver. You're holding the camera. You're deciding what to show. Like, it's the same thing on Instagram. I'm not showing even half of my life on Instagram, even though it looks like I'm always there. Like, it's all up to you what to show and what not to show. But I can understand that it can be like stressful in a way of you need to constantly think what to film and kind of like put your life more on display rather than live in it. But maybe it's just like, it's also a matter of habit, you know, and you probably don't vlog like every day. Definitely not. Yeah, you can edit stuff out, exactly. That's why it's, I guess, a little bit easier. So when I do, for example, recording of videos of coding, it's easier if I say something that is like not related. I can just cut it out. So I had my chat with myself and you don't need to know that. You know, but then again, when I do it live, then it's easier in terms of no need to edit things and you can just like have it out there, you know. So I missed something. Yeah, R is too good and Go too, but I learned Python too friendly. I remember university seeing assembler. I hear assembler is a little bit tough. It could also be like a video log of your life that you can look back, since every day feels the same. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like diaries, right? I think if you find the time and if you find your routine, then it can be a cool thing. Especially if like you're moving places, if you're having like different experiences. It's really like it's not only like for everybody else to see, but it's also for yourself for reflection. I agree. Hello, ma'am. Can I put your projects in my portfolio, please? Did you build those projects yourself or do you want just to steal mine? If you want to just steal mine that I have on my portfolio, then no. But if you want to build the projects that I offer to build on my YouTube channel, then yes. Like, if you even need to ask that, then maybe there is something that you're not doing right. And everybody is a witness here. True, editing takes hours. Yeah, it does. Especially in the beginning when you need to learn the software, you need to learn the whole, how do you call it? The whole flow of editing, I guess. I don't know. So, yes, from YouTube. Yep, you can be my guest. That's why they are there. Feel free to put them on your portfolio if you build them. I mean, the point is for you to build them and then to showcase your skills. Obviously, you can also take the end result and just put it. But then you're kind of like, you're cutting the branch you're sitting on. There is no sense in doing that. Like, they're going to call you out eventually. So don't do yourself a disservice. I was thinking about changing my personal website. What do you think? It's a quite simple one, like a very, very simple one page. But I've been thinking to maybe add like some transitions and pages and make it a little bit more interesting. So I could also learn more transitions. I suck in transitions. Like, it's always Google everything, okay, copy, paste, done. But I'd like to get to know it more. And just for fun, not that I'm doing any transitions at work, so I will forget it for sure. But at least I could have the fun of exploring them by myself. Do they ask data structure questions in a front-end interview? Maybe sometimes. I don't know. It really depends on the company and on the interview that you're having. So it's not like a yes they ask. You cannot really say that. Sorry, but I have to go to bed. Can't even eat this Swiss made chocolate. Good night. See you next time. What is the best thing about you in the framework? About me in the framework? I don't think I understand this question. For me, maybe in a framework? Good night, Abdul. What does he mean? I'm not sure. As far as I know, I'm not a framework. But maybe it was just a misspelling. I think I'm getting hungry. Which is big, right? Because in the recent days I have not been eating. Except of like for pleasure. I have been eating to empty the fridge, but not for being hungry. How hard is it for a junior to get a remote position? I think now with the world changing, it's a little bit easier to find companies that offer remote positions also for juniors. But maybe it still can be hard because you would need like to prove yourself or so. I'm really not sure. I don't have any person anymore that is a junior. Like all of my circles have been successfully boarded on jobs and are on their way to meet levels. So I don't know, but given the situation, I would expect it to be a little bit easier than before. Avram is saying, I like how minimalistic your website is. You could add particles if you like particles or something of that sort. Yeah, I was thinking about that. But then I was also, so I went down the rabbit hole and I went to like design. There's this words, AWWW words, arts website where they showcase websites which have won awards. And I think if or it was through there or through some other platform, I found like a website that I really like and I would like to mimic it. Maybe change some stuff because I'm not like a website designer. I have no idea what to put for myself. Like if you would give me probably like a business thing, I could create you a web design and think about things. But when it comes to like the super creative thing, then I'm just like, I don't have the brain for that extra creativeness because I'm also thinking about how the heck will that be built, you know? Or maybe I just don't have that. I mean, I do have that brain. I'm just like not practicing in that direction. So I'm not used to thinking about websites like that. So yeah, guten Abend. Are you a full stack or a front end developer? Well, I've been like for the last 2.5 years, I've been a front end. But I have knowledge of the back end. I didn't practice it for a while, so you know. I guess I would say full stackish. Hello, Rose here. Hello. How are you? How are your nails? How do you manage to sit long hours doing coding? Can you give some tips on that? Maybe maybe you shouldn't sit long hours doing coding. I mean, I think it's best. So, like, if you are not managing to sit long hours doing coding, then don't force it. Take a break, that's even better. Do something else, refresh your mind. I don't know, eat. Whatever you're doing, something else or anything else can help you then come back to coding and kind of like perform even better, because like if you're coding for very long, like in one place and everything, and you need to force yourself, then it means that you're not there. And if you're not there, then there is no need to force yourself. Just do something else, clean that space, and then come back to coding. That's the only way I know how to make yourself code. I mean, otherwise, if things would flow in a way that you're just like, oh yeah, I can code, then like you would not need to ask, right? Or like to wonder how to make yourself sit long hours and code, because it would be coming like more fluently. I'm good, having lots of interviews, lots of stress, so I decided to go out and get my nails done. That's always a good idea. I think like getting your nails done is one of like the best self-care things. I really like to. And good luck with all the interviews. That is indeed like quite a stressful time. I agree, taking breaks helps a lot. Yeah. I don't know if I told you already, but remember, probably some of you know, but before I learned how to code, I took a course on Coursera, how the brain works, to understand how can I make like the whole process go smoother, better, and which mistakes not to make, and this kind of stuff. So I don't remember who they were, but anyway, the gist of it was that there's like the front memory and the back memory, and those two take time to communicate. So when you're learning or when you're coding as well, like solving problems and trying to find solutions, sorry, it takes time for this connection to happen and for this connection to start working. So let's say you are facing a problem and you kind of like communicated the problem to your brain. I'm saying it like super scientific, take a break. That connection is going to still happen. That connection is going to work behind the scenes. And then once you're done with your break and you're back to your coding thing or to your learning thing, things are much easier because you gave your brain the time that it needs. You cannot skip that step. It's not possible. There's no such option. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has, but I think regular people don't have that option to skip. So, taking a break. I just discovered your channel yesterday and it is a treasure. Oh, thank you. Happy to hear you enjoyed it. And Rose says thank you. My throat starts to really give up on me. And my watch has already warned me that it's like, oh, it's almost time to go to bed. But I actually had a very long nap today. So I took like the time off, and it's not like a regular time off. They gave us like a crisis time off. So I took that one and I slept finally a little bit. So maybe I don't need to go to bed straight away. But I am getting hungry. Same, I've been having allergy. Oh no. I'm just sneezing constantly. I heard that like the allergy season started really, really early this year. Is it like normal for you, Sasha, to like start having the allergy this early in the year? Because I know that here it's not that early, usually. How long have you been in coding? So like professionally, I've been coding almost 4 years now. Wow. But yeah, almost there. In a couple of months. What's for dinner? What's ever left in the fridge, honestly? I don't know. I have a cucumber. I have a slice of cheese. What else? I bought something today. Oh, I have salmon. And something else. Yeah, so I need to create something with that. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I can do like a fresh cucumber salad. And maybe like a cracker with a salmon. I don't know. Allergies suck. Totally. Got allergy from the powder at the nail salon. And I was crying because I couldn't breathe. Oh no! Damn! I find also like, so like sometimes when I do my nails, like there's like this whole thing that like evaporates and everything, and it's just like crazy, no? That like we need to breathe it, and it's like it's so toxic. But I hope you're okay now. Are you able like to have the nails then though? Oh no. Me too. I hate spring. Yeah. Spring is supposed to be a lovely season, but not for us. Cucumber salmon burger. Yeah. Oh my god, any kind of powder just makes me cough nowadays. Damn. Did they get like more aggressive? The powders and the chemicals and everything. I'm also wondering if it's like because I don't know in the places where you're living, but here we're like wearing like very intense masks all the time. So I'm wondering if it's like we have been sort of like cleaned from all the crap and now our barriers are not as strong and that's why we get that. I don't know, this is just like, don't want to start a conspiracy theory. Oh wait, I missed the message. I just moved here last year March but just experienced allergy this year, or it could be a cat dander, not sure. Oh, yeah, they gave me water, tried not to breathe for the remaining. uh Damn. Do you know which powder they use and like, so at least you can avoid it for next time? Because otherwise it's like you would not want to have that every time you go there, right? I mean, obviously, you don't need to answer right or not. Right? I've been wearing mask even though it's lifted here because it helps with the pollen, I guess. Yeah, I think so too. Helps a lot. They called it regular. No idea what it is. It is like acrylic powder. It's for nail extensions. Maybe. What's your live streaming schedule? Is it occasional? Well, I try to stream now every Wednesday, but sometimes life has other plans. So I update on Instagram if I go live or not. But yeah, I aim for Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central European time. Soon it's gonna be Central European summer time. Yay! Maybe I honestly have no idea what it is. Yeah. I mean, that's the only powder I can think of. I'm kind of like a nail maniac in a way. I don't know if maniac is the right word, but I'm very like I'm very deep into my hobby with doing nails. The only powder I can think of is acrylic powder, but I think they also can be different in terms of like the intensity of them and like how they are like for sensitive skin or sensitive nails or not. But I have no idea. Oh yeah, when's the time change? Oh, let me check actually. I think it's like March. Yeah, March 27th. So the last day, usually the last Saturday of March. Soon. Which is nice. I really enjoy like the longer days. Like winter is rough here. What do you think is better for a beginner, to start as a freelance or an employee? So I think it depends. Your goal should be employee. As freelancer, you don't get benefits. Yeah, so I think that depends on the country. Because for example, when I think about other countries in like Europe, especially Eastern Europe, then you don't have much benefit anyhow. But you can charge more as a freelancer and then like pay like a freelancer tax, which is usually less than a corporate tax, for example. But of course, it has a lot of implication when it comes to finding your clients, having a stable income. As an employee, I think it's much more simple. You don't need to worry about all of that, and you get benefits if in your country that's applicable. Daylight saving, yeah. And you can find companies with flexible schedule. Freelance tax is much higher in Canada. Oh, no, crazy, yeah. So it's basically not worth it to be a freelancer unless you're like making massive bank. Damn. But yeah, back to the topic. If I speak like from Germany point of view, from a person living in Germany point of view. Hey Noe, how are you? Then I wouldn't go freelance here unless you can really, 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 really earn a lot of money. Because in Germany you get a ton of benefits, like a ton of benefits. And also, if you happen to lose the job, you also get benefits. As a freelance, you don't get anything, like at all. You need to pay your own pension, health insurance fully, and health insurance is mandatory here. You need to pay tons of other taxes that you need to just like contribute. I'm sorry, for the social security system and everything. So it's a lot. In Canada, if you get 25k money, you pay 4k in taxes. Yay, no. It's an Instagram chat. So in Germany, I'm currently paying 42% tax on my salary. As a freelance, it would be less. But you would be paying a lot of things out of your own pocket. Like as an employee, apart from like sick days, vacation days, and everything, you also pay for health insurance half with the employer. And yeah, of course, you get like the social security if something happens. So I think if people are like wealthy enough or have like some heritage, or because there are different people in different positions in life, right? There are like some people who don't really care much about savings. Maybe they have like things from other places that they can go like for freelancing. They have like a cushion, so they're okay. But other than that, and especially as an immigrant, I think it's quite hard to be a freelancer. Oh my god, Canada is like a communist country. I'm sorry for you. Yeah, I don't think you need to be sorry. I think it's like Canada It's a pretty good country. You need to pay all these taxes because you see how the system works. Like, you yourself also benefit from those taxes. It's not like, oh my god, those taxes go somewhere. Is there like a tax deduction, like as a freelancer deduct rent or something? You cannot deduct rent unless you actually show that unless you have an isolated room, then you could deduct that in Germany. But it's a very tricky one. Like they're not super into it. It's hard being a freelancer in Germany if you're not making bank again. Hi, here from Sasha Stories. Hello, Sahil. Yeah, you can get some money back. First, you pay the taxes, then the government looks at your expenses, then you get money back. Yeah. We also have getting tax back at the end of the year here in general, if you are also like a regular. So it doesn't depend on your employment status. It depends on you having a life. So you can deduct a lot of things in general. And usually you get quite a good deduction at the end of the year. It's always nice to have like a after Christmas. Well, it's not after Christmas, that's not true. You kind of do the tax declaration around March, which I should probably do soon. And then you get things around like July. I have my birthday in July, so that's a good present. The Finanzamt of Germany is providing me some money. Sometimes. Here the tax season is around March as well. Yeah. I think you're right. It depends on the country and law, but my thinking was to get experts by working on real projects so you can have things to present on CV. Right. So, hey, July, baby. You too, right? Yeah. So if we're talking about that aspect of like having like an employment versus being a freelancer in terms of like your skills and experience, then yeah, I would say go for employment, like in a company, because I think as a freelancer you are expected to be the one with the answers, and as an employee there is more space for you to learn and to grow within the company and learn from other things. So July baby here too. That's so cool. 3 of us. Awesome. Wait, when's Canada Day? The first one. I'm on the second one. That's so cool. Oh wait, unless that date falls on a Sunday, which in this case is the 2nd of July. The entire country celebrates my birthday. Yeah. And Sasha, what is yours? Oh wait, so he was saying I thought you were working on your Blender issues, and Sasha says, yeah, but I think I solved it. Cool. What projects you will be building next on YouTube? So we still need to finish the Welly website that we have, because it's still not done and there is a lot of things going on there, and that's going to be like the tough one. So, we still need to kick the butt of the search page. We still have a lot of work ahead of us. So for now, it's that. And I also want to do some API challenges. I have like 3 on my mind, to have like one of a more simple one a little bit more tough, and maybe another one super simple. Because I think that we went quite fast from easy to advanced. And maybe some people would wish to have a little bit more of the easy parts. So that's what I'm planning to do. Your followers are waiting to know that, lol. Yes, Sasha, please update your followers. Wait, I'm getting so many. Ooh, I like your nails. I just saw them. Wait. Yes, everybody's on stream now. That's so cool. I think I'm overthinking my Blender issues. Oh wait, I have an interview in a few minutes. Enjoy. Good luck, Rose. Best of luck. Have a great experience there. Crossing my fingers for you. I think I'm over interview for what post, bro? Who are you calling a bro here? I think I'm overthinking for a job, lol. Good luck, Rose. I think I'm overthinking my Blender issue because I'll use the asset in Unity anyway and use code to generate stuff. So I don't know why I'm doing it on Blender. I wish I would be able to say something, but I have no idea. Sorry for joining late, Dana, but what do you usually work on your live stream? No worries. Usually we're coding. We're having like a project that we're building called Welly. I call it Welly for lack of imagination. It's a wellness website. We basically took like a design. It's an e-commerce project. We took a design from Behance and we're trying to mimic that while also using a makeup API as an external thing to get data. And then kind of like make it all work together. So that's gonna be hopefully that's gonna be the next stream, but maybe the next stream is also gonna be a chat. I don't know. Life is unexpected. I can't imagine spending time on Blender when you have a graphic card that good. That was me when I was using Blender on my MacBook and it was dying. Oh, really? I was calling bro to young minus. Well, young minus is not a bro either. Let's not assume that everybody is a bro. That's why I was asking like who you're calling a bro. But yeah. So wait, Sasha, so what are you building in Blender now? I'm not updated on your stories. Let me check. Seems like, okay, wait a second. Wow, did you build that forest yourself? Probably sounding like a grandma, but it's like... Then generate random trees on tiles. Is this a girl only live stream? Lol. That's not a lol. How much did you save on heater then? Blender reminds me a lot of like 3D Max. I don't know if that's like something like super old school, but I used to work in 3D Max. It's kind of tough. So I hope Blender is easier and like more straightforward and more user-friendly and less overwhelming. Yes, I made that forest using something called geometry nodes. It takes in one asset, a hexagon tile and one tree, and generates a forest procedurally. Oh, cool. We'll try to join your streams more often, Donna. Thank you, Sahil. Really hope to see you there. I'm trying to stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central European time. But if not, I update on Instagram to see if that's happening that day or not. Today almost didn't happen, but then Rose came with the idea to just have a chat, and I took it because not every day or not every Wednesday I can code. Actually, my PC can save heater more than the MacBook. It's so hot right now in my office. Oh no! Sasha, you need to move to like up north, so then you can really use that heating thing and save on heater. Because I don't know, it's probably not that cold, right, in the place where you're living, to have that heating bank. So I'm trying to create some assets for a secret project, something to do with NFT games. Ooh, that would be cool. Thank you for the sub, Sahil. I can't wait to see the secret project. Is there like well, okay, I'm not gonna ask. It's a secret, so it's fine. Oh yeah, your NFT game related stories. Yeah. I had no idea that NFTs and like crypto has so many games, but it's like super cool. Always interesting to see those. Yes, in the winter it was amazing, but our winter was so short, like only a month. Really? Damn. I mean, on the other hand, it's not too bad. We have now a shift in seasons. Like our winter, which like usually the weather that is supposed to be like mid-February is now in March, which is probably not such a big shift. But when the days are getting longer and suddenly it's also getting colder, it's kind of like, what the hell is happening? You know, it's a little bit off. I'm building a prototype, but eventually we'll hire actual 3D artists to work on it. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Winter is too long in Canada. Rose, are you back? Interviewer is late. Oh, okay. Then we can get the secret project details from our interns. Beacon. Yes, Beacon and Miso are gonna spill. We just give them like some catnip and that's it. It's done. Sasha, you're not safe. Winter is great. Yeah, I mean, winter is nice, but everything is good when it has its own balance. Same in Maine, which is like Diet Canada. Oh, that's too funny. Diet Canada. But I mean, is it at least getting a little bit warmer where you're at? Rose and Noe? Because like, it's not here. So I'm wondering if at least somebody else has it warmer. Diet Canada. A bit. I mean, I'll take it. Here it really went to another direction. Like it was +8, +7, and now it's like -3, 5, 6. So it really doesn't make sense. Canada light. It's around -6 right now. Okay. And that's getting warmer, so there's your Canada. On the weekend it was -20. Oh no. Okay, that's quite rough. Those are the famous Canadian winters. This coming week will be +13. Oh, that's cool. Then it goes back down. I mean, at least you could enjoy a little bit of like a breath of the warmth. I wonder if your doggy is gonna enjoy that, because she's like, she has never experienced warmer weather yet, right? But I think you mentioned that she likes actually the winter. She loves the snow. That's so cold. Yeah, it is. Well, you think that then in summer she would not want to go outside? She will be like boycotting outside, waiting for the snow. You would need to move even more north. Good reminder. Yeah. I have to drink water, otherwise, like, my throat is just like, it's not being a friend of the stream. Let me get another bottle because I've already emptied that one. I wonder too. Speaking about animals, I don't know, Sasha, have you seen it? I have, well, I'm saying to Sasha because she has the cats. I don't know if anybody else has the cats or cats. The cats. Sasha has those. I have a book about how the internet really works, and it's explained by a cat. I just bought it on the weekend and still didn't read it, but it seems like a really cool one. It has, what's the name? Cat, and then the name is Catnip. I thought of dropping a DM to your interns. One of them looks angry in the story. I don't have cats. I guess a puppy is enough. Oh my god, so cute. The book looks cool. Yeah, it is really cool. Wait, let me show you more. So it has, for example, like illustrations like these about like the internet. So let me tell you what it is. It's an illustrated guide to protocols, privacy, censorship, and governance. Explained by a cat. Yeah. wait. For example, they're talking about Tor here. There's like a lot of, show us a page from the book. Let me find a good one closer. Here, I think this one is funny. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it super well, but it's kind of like, basically, there's a cat here. Where am I showing? Here. I'll stop embarrassing myself and showing the book in a weird position, but yeah, there's like a lot of cool stuff. There's like this kind of illustrations. It's super awesome. And I think it's gonna make it easier to learn all of those things. For example, DNS. And then there is a cat. A thinking cat. No, it's here. But yeah. I'm excited to read that one. It's been 10 minutes since I'm waiting for the other person to show up. Oh no, maybe they forgot about it. I actually had one experience when I was learning for my driving lessons, and I got so focused that I forgot about an interview with Klarna, you know, the big company. I was like, oh shit. So I texted the HR and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I totally understand, and that's like a no for next time. Like, I understand that. She was like, no, let's meet. It's okay. Next time she didn't show up. I was like, okay, that's just revenge. Oh, I love books like that rather than alt text. Yeah, me too. Both look pretty much the same to me. Is it just me, or did the cat look a bit like Garfield with specs? No. Look, it's a little bit different. It's not a Garfield. He's its own character. How did you find the book? Wait, let me put some music. Well, that was revenge, yeah, right? So I actually just went like to a big bookstore here in Berlin. Because it's not so common to have like books in English in Germany in general. You would probably need to buy them like through Amazon. And I just went to like this big bookstore because I also like just like the experience of going to a bookstore, you know, just like sit there or watch there or I don't know, just like it inspires you to read, it inspires you to buy the books. And suddenly there's like this text section when I was there reading a lot or like just like watching other stuff, and I found this one and it looks super cool, and it was the only copy, which is weird because usually they have like several copies of things. So I'm not sure if that was like sold out or maybe somebody ordered and didn't buy it. Anyhow, now I got it. Oh yeah, totally different. Creepy looking cat. It's not creepy. Beacon is more brown, Miso is lighter fur, and she's smaller. Yeah. Sahil, come on. It's obvious. You just didn't do your research on the interns. You need to pay more attention to the interns. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything from them. Because they can sense that. I can notice the difference now. Okay. Then you're not going to be on their list of people who don't notice their differences. Sasha, do they understand like the differences in their names? I mean, Beacon probably, but Miso, since she's like growing up with Beacon. Not a cat person, sorry. They're not cats, they're personalities. Okay, it's getting quite late. My time, at least. It's like 10:15. Oh no, I was supposed to reply to a message and I missed our chat here. It's okay. We were talking about cats. Both carrying Sasha's personalities. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I think that's the difference between dogs and cats, is that I think cats, they don't inherit your personality as much as the dogs, for example. I think cats are a little bit more independent and a little bit more like, I'm my own boss. And dogs are a little bit less of that. They're different. So, but there are also cats that are like dogs. So maybe Sasha got these. I don't know. See the recent story, Sasha's response to people asking her question instead of Googling. Oh, yeah. And then the next is gonna be like a DM of people telling Sasha that she's aggressive because she's doing that. People. I was recently laughing with somebody. that a person who works in Google was not Googling things in terms of like they were asking the person more about things rather than Googling things. Misa seems to know her name, but sometimes she ignores me. That's just sass. I'm scared of interns and the boss, not gonna lie. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I am getting hungry and I need to check on the news, what's happening. I really appreciated though that you kept me company and I did get well distracted from the mess that we live in right now. So thank you for the laughs and for the chat and for the company. That's like super, 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 super appreciated from my side. But yeah, I've been streaming for like 3 hours now. I think it's time to move my butt. No, yes, I heal. Until next time. So, wait a second, I need another email. Is it the fridge? Yeah, the fridge. Wait a second. Sending you lots of loves. Thank you so much, Sasha. Okay, I'm gonna go and book my appointment for my fridge. It's 2:47 a.m. here. This was worth skipping my book. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for all the company that we had. It was like such a fun chat with everybody from Instagram as well. That was really, really, really nice. I hope we can repeat that one day again. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining. I really mean it and I really appreciate it. And I hope you're keeping safe. And book an appointment to get it delivered. Yes. Keep safe and have a good evening, day or night, wherever you are. And see you next time.